In an exclusive, never-before-seen moment from the Love and Hip Hop Atlanta reunion taping, Andy, a figure whose presence has often simmered beneath the surface of the show's more explosive personalities, delivered a raw, unfiltered declaration that left even the most seasoned cast members stunned into silence. Though the moment was ultimately cut from the final broadcast reportedly due to time constraints and editorial decisions, it has since circulated among fans and insiders, gaining near-legendary status for its emotional weight and the clarity with which Andy confronted years of misrepresentation, betrayal, and personal growth. The scene unfolded during a quieter segment of the reunion, sandwiched between the usual fireworks of accusations and tearful confessions. While Quad and Sweet Tea, two of the show's most polarizing figures, were engaged in their own heated exchange, Andy, who had largely remained silent throughout the evening, calmly rose from his seat. The audience, already buzzing from earlier confrontations, fell into a hush. Cameras continued to roll, but the energy in the room shifted palpably. This wasn't just another dramatic outburst, it was the culmination of years of internal struggle, public scrutiny, and private pain. Andy didn't raise his voice. He didn't point fingers or resort to the kind of theatrical gestures that often dominate reality television. Instead, he spoke with a quiet intensity that commanded attention. "I've sat here for the last 2 hours listening to everyone talk about loyalty, about respect, about who did what to who," he began, his gaze steady on Quad and Sweet Tea. "And I realized something: I've never really said my truth. Not fully. Not honestly. And I think it's time." The room held its breath. Producers later confirmed that even they were caught off guard. Andy hadn't submitted any talking points to the production team, nor had he hinted during pre-interviews that he planned to speak so candidly. What followed was a powerful, 12-minute monologue that peeled back the layers of persona, performance, and survival that had defined his journey on the show. "I came into this world to make a name," Andy continued, "not to be a punchline, not to be the guy people laugh at behind closed doors. I came in here with dreams, real dreams. Music. Business. Legacy. But somewhere along the way, the narrative shifted. I became the villain. The side character. The guy who's always angry, always reacting. And I let that happen. I let y'all define me." He paused, letting the weight of those words settle. Quad, known for his confrontational demeanor, leaned forward slightly, his expression unreadable. Sweet Tea, usually quick with a rebuttal, remained silent, her eyes fixed on Andy. "You two," Andy said, addressing them directly, "have been at the center of a lot of the stories told about me. Some true. Some twisted. Some made up just to keep the drama going. And I get it, this is entertainment. But it's also my Lee. I didn't come on this show to be a villain," Andy repeated. "I came to grow. To evolve. To show people that you can come from nothing and still build something. But somewhere along the way, I started believing the narrative too. I started acting like the person y'all said I was. Angry. Defensive. Always on the attack. And that's not me. That's not who I want to be." The admission was startling in its vulnerability. Andy had long been portrayed as the aggressive, hot-headed figure, the one who would throw down at the drop of a hat. But in this moment, he revealed a different side, reflective, introspective, and deeply aware of the cost of fame on identity. Turning to Quad, Andy said, "You and I have had our issues. Real issues. But a lot of what's been shown between us is edited to look like something it's not. We've both been pawns in a game bigger than us. They want conflict. They want ratings. And we've both played along. But I'm done playing." Quad, after a long pause, nodded slowly. "I hear you, man," he said quietly. "I really do. And I'll admit, some of the stuff they showed, it wasn't the full picture. I've had my own battles with how I'm portrayed. It messes with your head after a while." Sweet Tea, typically unapologetic, surprised everyone by speaking next. "Andy, I didn't realize how much it affected you," she said, her voice softer than usual. I've been so focused on my own story, on protecting myself, that I didn't stop to think about how my actions on and off camera impacted you. And for that, I'm sorry." The apology hung in the air. It was a rare moment of genuine accountability on a show known more for deflection than remorse. Andy didn't immediately accept it, nor did he reject it. Instead, he acknowledged it with a simple nod. "Apology accepted," he said. "But this isn't just about you two. This is about all of us. We've all allowed this machine to shape us into characters instead of people." He then shifted his focus to the broader implications of reality television, particularly within the Black community. "We're out here every week, letting the world see our fights, our pain, our trauma," he said. "And for what? So people can point and laugh? So networks can make millions while we're left dealing with the aftermath? I've seen friends spiral into addiction, into depression, into legal trouble because they couldn't separate the persona from the person. And I almost became one of them." Andy revealed that during a particularly dark period, he had sought therapy, something he had never publicly discussed. "I was losing myself," he admitted. "I didn't know who Andy was anymore. Was I the guy on TV? The guy in the headlines? Or was I the kid from the West Side who just wanted to make it?" Therapy helped me reconnect with that kid. It helped me remember my purpose. He stressed the importance of mental health, urging others in the cast and by extension, the audience not to be ashamed of seeking help. "We carry so much." Gene Rat. Andy concluded with a declaration that would become the defining statement of the unreleased reunion. "From this point on," he said, "I'm no longer a character on someone else's show. I am the author of my own story. I will not be edited. I will not be misrepresented. I will not be silent. I am Andy. And I am taking my power back." With that, he sat down. No applause. No dramatic music. Just the quiet hum of the studio lights and the faint sound of someone in the audience wiping away tears. Insiders say that producers were deeply moved by the moment but ultimately decided to cut it, fearing it would derail the tone of the episode. It was too real, one source claimed. Too introspective. The network wanted more conflict, more shock value. Andy's speech didn't fit the mold. But for those who were there and for the growing number who have since heard about it, the moment was transformative. Fans have taken to social media, demanding that the network release the full uncut reunion. Hashtags like #release the Andy speech and #take your power back have trended, with viewers praising Andy for his courage and honesty. In the days following the reunion taping, Andy has been noticeably absent from the usual post-show media rounds. No interviews. No Instagram live breakdowns. No shade throwing on social media. Instead, he's been spotted at community events, mentoring young artists, and quietly working on a new music project, one he says will reflect his true journey, not the one manufactured for television. Quad, in a rare off-the-record comment, described the moment as a wake-up call. "We all need to look in the mirror," he said. "We're bigger than this show. We're bigger than the drama." Andy reminded me of that. Sweet Tea, meanwhile, has hinted at writing a memoir, one that will set the record straight about her experiences on the show. "Andy opened a door," she told a close friend. "Now it's time for the rest of us to walk through it." The unreleased reunion moment has sparked a broader conversation about the ethics of reality television, particularly when it comes to the portrayal of marginalized communities. Critics argue that shows like Love and Hip Hop often exploit personal trauma for profit, reinforcing negative stereotypes while offering little in the way of support or accountability for the cast members. Andy's speech, though unseen by the general public, has become a symbol of resistance, a quiet rebellion against the forces that seek to reduce complex lives to soundbites and stereotypes. It's a reminder that behind every headline, every viral clip, every edited confrontation, there is a human being with dreams, fears, and a right to self-definition. In an era where authenticity is often performative and vulnerability is commodified, Andy's decision to speak his truth without fanfare, with